guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be doing a little bit of a different style video. We're not going to be talking about makeup today. Today I'm actually going to be sharing a review with you guys, and this is on a service called Home Chef. Home Chef, in case you're not familiar, they are a weekly food service. They deliver a box of food to your door, and they give you all the ingredients that you need in order to create your family meals for the week. You have the option of selecting how many meals you want and how many people are in your family, and then they do give you an assortment of meals to choose from, so you're not just stuck with whatever the meal of the week is or anything like that. They give you a whole bunch of options, and then you select the ones that look best to you. So the cost of this service is about $9.95 per serving per person. So for example, for my family of 4, I was able to get 2 meals for $80. So that's about how it works out as far as pricing goes. It's very similar to the price, I think, of like eating out if you were eating at a more affordable restaurant, but you have the ability to make it at home. So Home Chef was kind enough to sponsor this video today, so thank you so much to Home Chef for sponsoring this video so that I was able to share this review with you guys. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into some of it. So I do have some footage of me actually opening up the box and preparing one of the meals, and then I have a bunch of photos of how the ingredients looked and like after photos of after me cooking it and stuff. But before I show you guys all of that, I kind of wanted to talk about my experience with it. So I have not used this service before, this Home Chef service before. I have subscribed to HelloFresh in the past, and with HelloFresh I did that probably, I want to say 3 or 4 months. I was doing that pretty regularly, and I was paying for that one on my own. There's a lot of similarities between these two, but there's a lot of things that differentiate the two as well. So I'm going to kind of do a comparison of that. So the nice thing about these food delivery services in general is that you can skip the grocery store, you can skip the meal planning, and for me personally, that's a huge benefit because as a busy mom, even though I work from home, I am so busy all the time with different appointments, and you know, my job does take a lot of time. Even though I'm doing it at home, it still takes a lot of my time and focus, and it's really hard to dedicate the time that it takes to sitting down and planning out a meal and then going grocery shopping. And a lot of times I'll go to the grocery store with great intentions, thinking I have all these meals planned out, and then I get home and I forgot something, and then you can't make it because you're missing an ingredient. So there's a lot of back and forth because of that, and I just find it to be kind of a lot of extra work. So whenever I can find a shortcut, I definitely try to take it. Cooking is not my favorite thing. I'm not super great at it. I do my best to feed my family and feed them as healthy as possible, but it's just not my forte. And then one thing that I noticed specifically about Home Chef, comparing it to the HelloFresh that I've tried in the past, and you guys will see this in the footage, I love that they have little prepackaged bags. So for each meal, that when you open the box up, for each meal that you selected, there's a little like bag that has a handle on it, a clear plastic bag. It'll say the name of the meal, and then it has all of the ingredients inside that little bag. So when you're going to cook, you just grab your bag, and then the meat, which is kept separately, obviously for health reasons. So you just grab your bag, you grab your protein, your meat, and then you have everything ready to go. It's all pre-portioned. It's all, you don't have a bunch of waste. You don't have to like save some of the ingredients and then try to figure out another meal to use those ingredients in later or end up wasting those ingredients. So I do really enjoy that. And comparing that to HelloFresh, even though with HelloFresh you didn't have a lot of extra ingredients either, like they did pre-portion it, it wasn't separated by meal. So when I was doing HelloFresh, I was getting 3 meals a week, and they just threw all the vegetables into the box and all of the meat into the box, and it was not separated by meal, which is not a big deal. I mean, you can just pull out what you need when you're doing it, but it definitely saves time having it in a bag. So you can just kind of like grab what you need, grab the bag, you're ready to go. You don't have to search through your fridge, through the crisper drawer for something, and then through, you know, it just made it easier. I found that to be very convenient. Okay, so I am gonna kind of insert footage hopefully as we're going along, but real quick before I move on to like the recipe cards and stuff, I wanted to insert the footage of me unboxing it. So once it arrived, I opened it up and I did film myself on my iPhone, kind of showing you how it looks in the box, because I feel like that's really important with the meal services, making sure that they package them well, because there are some that I've seen like reviews on, I haven't personally used, that don't package well. So I'll go ahead and insert that footage here real quick. Okay, so I was not planning to film right now. I totally have no voice because I've been sick, but this box just arrived and I needed to unbox it and show you guys. Anyways, what we're looking at, let me tell you what we're looking at. This is a box from Home Chef, and it's like a food cooking service. I have not tried this service before, so I thought I would try it out and share my thoughts with you guys. Okay, so right on top they have the ice packs. This is similar to what HelloFresh did. That keeps it nice and cold, and you can tell and make sure that it's, these are still totally solid, so you know that your stuff is still good. So we got a couple of those just sitting on top, keeping everything fresh. All right, there were 2 meals that I ordered, and the 2 that I picked out was this adobo chicken enchiladas, and then they're both Mexican themed. I didn't mean to do that, but they both just looked good. And then this one is a beef taco skillet. They both sounded kind of easy to make, and they also sounded good. My kids don't like anything with seafood, so they're kind of picky. All right, so here's the ingredients. All right, looks like we have a couple fresh corn on the cob. This is kind of nice. This is different than HelloFresh. It has all the ingredients for each meal in a little bag. So this one says adobo chicken enchiladas. So it has all the ingredients for that separate. Okay, because I ordered for a family of 4. Normally they do a family of 2, or 2 servings. So this is the first 2 servings. This is the second 2 servings. Okay, that makes sense. Looks like some lettuce. Everything looks fairly fresh. Okay, and then I did want to show you, so in that box you guys would have seen, you do get this Home Chef recipes little binder. I find this really useful because like I said, when I was doing HelloFresh, I did it for several months, and you get the same concept. You get a meal card, but the meal cards you got from HelloFresh were a lot smaller. They were about this big, and I ended up with those things all over my kitchen. I had some in a drawer, I had some out on the counter. They just ended up floating all over the place because I didn't have a place to store them in. So it's not a super nice binder. It's just a plastic binder, but it's a place to keep it. And then you can just stick this where you have your recipe books and you're good to go. So the 2 recipes that you guys would have seen that I did this week, the first one here was the adobo chicken enchiladas. And then the second one was the beef taco skillet. So of the 2, I found the beef taco skillet was so easy. It was so easy, you guys. It probably is the easiest meal I've ever prepared from one of these meal delivery services. In general, I found both of these to be much easier than the ones that I was doing from HelloFresh. The HelloFresh ones, for my skill level, which I already mentioned, I don't love to cook. I don't have a lot of skill when it comes to cooking, and I don't really enjoy it. So I don't like spending a lot of time with complicated recipes. And the ones from HelloFresh, in my opinion, took too long. They took me like an hour to prepare. There was a lot of chopping, a lot of cutting, a lot of extra work that I'm not used to when it comes to meals. I like them to be simple and easy. So I really appreciated this meal because I found it to be so easy, you guys. It took me probably 20 minutes to cook. It was so easy. Now this meal here, this was the chicken enchiladas. This one was a little harder for me. Now, I did film myself actually preparing this. I'll include a little bit of that footage. There was a couple reasons this was harder for me. It was just more of a challenging recipe in general, but I had a lot of distractions going on the day that I was cooking this. You guys know, as a mom, when you're cooking, you're multitasking. You have to be multitasking. So I'm cooking, and my kids were heading over to their dad's house to have a play date. So I was trying to help them get their shoes on and get ready to go. And then my oldest daughter, who decided not to go because she had a school assignment, which was one of those little babies that actually act like a real baby that you have to take care of. She had gotten that baby that day, and she was freaking out. She didn't feel prepared to take care of it. So every time it cried, she would start screaming. She's like, Mom, help me. So I kept getting pulled away from this meal. So it wasn't only the meal's fault. That was a long story, but just trying to tell you guys, it wasn't only because of the skill level that is required for this meal that I found it more challenging. I had other things going on, But this one was definitely more challenging of the two. I would say this was probably pretty close to the ones that I've experienced from HelloFresh. Like there was a lot more prep, there was a lot more things involved in this one. It ended up taking me, I think, like an hour and a half to cook it, but like I said, I had to keep stopping and being pulled away. Now, as far as the taste of both of them, I thought they were both fantastic. I also really liked that both of these meals were meals my family would eat. When I signed on to the website to choose the meals, they had way more options than I ever got with HelloFresh. I can't remember how many options HelloFresh gave you, but I want to say it was around 5 or 6. Like there was not a lot. With this one, there was 14 choices. So even if you didn't like the first couple ones, just keep scrolling. They give you a lot of options. I feel like both of the options that I chose for this week were very family friendly. My kids were willing to eat them, which is sometimes hard to do with my children because they're extremely picky, but both of these meals they enjoyed. They did say that they thought there was too many onions in both recipes. Because we are a family of 4, they pre-portion everything for a family of 2 size, like you would have seen in the unboxing portion. So because of that, they sent 2 full onions, and I just put all of it in there. You could probably, take out some of that if you can adjust it a little bit. I didn't have to put both full onions, and I think it could have done a little better without as many onions in both recipes. One other thing that I really wanted to mention, this was really important that I mention this to you guys. So of the 2 meals that I got on the beef taco skillet, they did include romaine lettuce. So you could almost make it into like a taco salad. The romaine lettuce you were supposed to serve on the side, but you could just like eat it all together. So anyways, they included romaine lettuce. And I don't know if you guys have heard, but right now there's a huge outbreak of E. coli that's related to romaine lettuce. So when I got it in there and there wasn't really anything saying, don't worry, this lettuce is safe, I was like, I don't want to feed this to my kids without making sure. So I called the 800 number. Even though this is a sponsored video and I have been communicating directly with a rep from Home Chef, I just used their normal 1-800 number to contact the company just to see what their customer service is like. They are #1 for customer satisfaction. And so I was like, I want to test it out. So I called. It was super easy to get through, you guys. It was on a Saturday that I called, and it only took, maybe a minute for them to answer. And the person I spoke to, she was super friendly, super nice. I told her my concern about the lettuce, and she was very quick to let me know that they don't source their lettuce from the area that was affected, which is Arizona. So anyway, so she said, don't worry, you are safe to eat the lettuce. So that was really awesome. So overall, my thoughts on this service, I actually really enjoyed it. I think it is a little bit on the high side. So definitely if you're buying your ingredients on your own at the grocery store and doing your meal prepping and planning, you could do it for a lot cheaper than this service is charging. However, if you're like me and you hate meal planning and you hate grocery shopping and you find that you're buying a lot of food and throwing it away because you don't use it, you might want to check this one out. And I do have a really good coupon code for you guys. I have a $30 off your first order if it's your first time trying them out. I will have that in the description box. So make sure you check that out. If you are interested in trying out this box, use that coupon code so you can save that money. I was very impressed with the way that they box it. I was very impressed with the quality of the produce, and I liked the fact that they had more recipe options, and they seemed to be a little bit easier than my experience with in the past, like I said, with HelloFresh. So overall, I think if I were to pick between this one and HelloFresh, I definitely would lean towards trying more of the Home Chef recipes because from my experience, I liked them better. I liked the results of the food better. I thought the options were better, and I definitely found them easier to create. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this review today. And thanks again so much to Home Chef for sending me this box to try out and share with you guys, and also for sponsoring this video. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.